Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to Govberg, and thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the IWC GST Rattrapante reference 3715-28. You can see this split-second day-date chronograph and purchase it on our website, govbergwatches.com, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and download our app, Govberg On Time, for the latest news, views, reviews, and multimedia of luxury watches. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see this is a full-sized, no-holds-barred, multifunction tool watch. Split seconds chronograph, date window, well-lumed, well-sized, 43 millimeters across the round of the case, not including the crown, the chronograph pushers, or the Rattrapante trigger. It's also quite thick, 17 millimeters. You can see it stands proud of the wrist, and it does have a pronounced outward cantilever to the bezel, so this is not one to slip underneath a tight sleeve of any kind. This is one for fun in the sun or outdoors at the racetrack, the better to take advantage of the split-second chronograph. In lug-to-lug terms, the watch is quite broad, 54 millimeters from extremity to extremity. It's important to note that that extremity measurement starts at the final link at the bracelet, the rigid outcropping that cannot bend down because it presses against the flank of the case. The lug-to-lug measurement is smaller, but it's the extremity to extremity, the actual width across the wrist that most people want to know, and that is 54 millimeters. Now it is very solid on the wrist. Everything here feels like it was built to last, and not just in a stereotypical premium Swiss watch sense, but in more of an instrument sense. It is very solid. The tolerances of the bracelet are exceptional, and you can also see that the bracelet, beautifully rendered, perhaps even owes a little bit to the integrated case bracelet aesthetic that Gerald Genta lent to the Ingeneur line in the late 1970s. You can also see effective use of polished center links, and then there are these spanning links, the H-pattern spanning links, that are satin finished, and then on their flanks, bright polished. Very effective use of metallurgy and beautifully made. Now on the underside, you'll also note that there are generous channels in between the links so that it won't pull hair or pinch skin. Ergonomically excellent. You can also see the dimples that are part of the modularity system. That is, the entire bracelet can be torn down to the individual links for precise sizing without using a jeweler's tool or screwdriver. You can also completely tear down the bracelet to clean each individual link and the retaining bars, and those are both useful features to have. The clasp is beautifully made, single swing arm deployant with an engine turned perlage on both sides of the interior. It's a handsome piece, it's a rugged piece, and it's also a trigger released piece. So you see, it does require positive interaction to open up. It's not friction fit, it can't pop open. And when closed, it has a very low profile. It's elegant in spite of the mass of the watch to which it's attached. A clever and thoughtful design refinement. Now the case itself is also quite complex. You can see the strong, hard geometries of the lugs. They have character lines that really jut forward from the case, that flow seamlessly into the bracelet. They have strength, they have definition, and they have mass. They also have contrast in that their flanks are polished and their tops are satin. Moving inboard, you can see that the watch's bezel has been minimized so that the dial can be maximized. Looking at this watch, I feel like a late celebration of the 4th of July, or an early Bastille Day. It's the combination of red, white, and blue in such abundance that gives this watch an upbeat, fun, and summery disposition. Although it is a pure tool utility watch, it is nevertheless a cheerful visage to encounter every day on your wrist. This one has a little bit of an elan about it that's not universal in the tool watch segment. Also important to note is the superb depth. You can see the outer seconds and minute track gives way to a step down on a inner minute track, I should say, and then the hours born on that minute track are beautifully raised and diamond polished. Moving down to the center dial, you can see the sunken sub-registers as well as the apertures for the day date. Now I'll show you a little bit of the chronograph split-second function in action. This is courtesy of an IWC 79230, principally in-house caliber. Although distantly based on the Valjoux 7750, this 29 jewel caliber is extensively elaborated by the complications department at IWC, and the mechanism itself was actually invented by a young Richard Habring, now the namesake of his own manufacturer in Austria. In the early 90s, he was a complications engineer for IWC, and he took the split-seconds chronograph out of the realm of fragile bespoke timepieces and into the world of workaday utility timepieces that could be bought by those who, had the means and the commitment, but not necessarily the means to commission a bespoke timepiece. And that is the mechanical classic working away below the dial of this watch. Now you can see that it has a solid case back screwed in, and that endows this complication with 120 meter water resistance. So in addition to complexity and a handsome demeanor, the watch also has tremendous amount of versatility as a sports watch. This is one you can take in the surf, in the sand, in the pool this summer. See it, buy it, love it, and own it on our website, govbergwatches.com.